West, the Sensible Stitcher, and I am here with my Flosstube update. I have a new start. I have several whips. I've got some plans. I have a little bit of haul, and I have something back from the framers, and I have some found stitches. And so I've got a lot to show this week, I hope. So hopefully the content is pretty good. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing is I'm going to show my new start. Okay. So I bought this from Garon Stitchery, and it is the Floretta sampler by October House. Sorry, I have a lot of natural sunlight in this room, and it's kind of, there we go. It's kind of playing with things. It is so beautiful. Now I've converted it to just reds. I've made it a red sampler, and I have selected different shades and hues. And for example, this kind of bright red in the middle is Louisiana hot sauce, and it will be repeated under here. So you'll see it show back up again. I've got, let's see, Gentle Arts Cranberry. I have one DMC. I have Bing Cherry by Classic Colorworks. I have Cherry Cobbler by Classic Colorworks, Bing Cherry, Louisiana hot sauce, Bing Cherry, Cherry Cobbler, and then this is Bing Cherry again. And so I'm using the exact same colors throughout, and I've already kind of laid out where I've marked my my copy as to where I want everything to go. So like the cranberry that's at the top, it will go back again at the bottom, and this will be the Louisiana hot sauce across here. And this one, actually, I'm switching to a more variegated red, and it is, let me see, I've got my bag right here, because it's such a, because it is such a large part of the sampler, I wanted it to pick up all the different reds, and I think that this one is perfect. What is it? Classic Colorworks Apple Fritter. And it is highly variegated, so I think that that will be beautiful. So that's my new start, and I've been a little bit, I don't want to say preoccupied, but I have absolutely loved it. Look how much stitching I've gotten done since the last time I saw you guys. This was a purchase, I think I must have gotten this in March, so I haven't even owned the chart for very long. So that's fun, and I think I should, I'm not making any promises. I've enjoyed it so far. That's all there is to that. Okay, let's see, what else did I work on? Oh, this is super fun. Oh, I forgot to unzip all the bags. Y'all are just gonna have to forgive me this time. I have been working on the new normal, one of my long dog samplers, and I'm stitching this on 55 count Creams Weigart, and it is my only cream, not my only cream, it is my only 55 count piece that I have on the go, although I might be starting another one. And I've made a lot of headway in this one. I'm gonna hold it over here in case I have a before picture. I am using DMC, and since you saw this last, I've stitched from here over, and I have stitched a bit more of the border. In fact, I've got my needle there to kind of remind me of what I was in the middle of. And the color of the DMC that I am using is 930, and it's beautiful. And I'm doing 1 strand over 2, and the coverage is full to bulky. So if you don't care for the bulky look, let me get it in just a little closer so that you can see. If you don't care for the bulky look, 55 count with DMC might not be for you. But I love it. I think it looks really, really full. And it's beautiful. Oh, and I treated myself. I think part of the reason I was struggling to bring this out was because it is on 55 count. And so I treated myself to some new readers. Normally I stitch with 4, which I realize is a very high count, but my age is a really high count. The older I get, the higher that number becomes. So anyways, for the 55 count, I have treated myself to some 5.5 readers that I bought on Amazon, and it has made all the difference in the world. I don't use something about the discs, the like, magnifier discs gives me a little bit of motion sickness. I have tried them before, and for whatever reason, glasses are better for me, and you just got to do what works for you. So I got some 5.5 glasses, and away I go. So let's see. Oh, and then this was really, and that was a long dog sampler, and the Sunshine Stitchers for the month of April were doing long dogs and ink circles. And so I pulled out my ink circles, which is so fun because I haven't worked on it in a long time. And it's the Forest of Sumatra. And it is so beautiful. When I put this away last, I had just had a page finish. And so I was like in a really good stopping point. And so I thought, well, I'll just pull it out. I typically bring it out during like December and sometimes for, well, I didn't get much work done this time. I'll show you anyways. Okay, so I finished this motif. I finished this motif. I finished this motif. And then I worked all the way across on the top of the border. That is not a 10, but this is my next page break. And it is 1/1 on 28 count, coffee tea dyed Monaco. It's okay. I pulled it out. I was in the spirit of their Guerin Designer of the Month focus. I did it. Okay, let's see. So that was great. It was fun to pick that one up and stitch on it. I put some more stitches on this one, which is One Nation. By Bygone Stitches. And I worked both in the blue area and across the white and red stripes of the flag. I was really wanting to see if my white was gonna work, and it does. I like the way that my white works. So I brought my stripe over. In fact, I think I started this since you've seen it last, and then I built several diamonds. And so that's kind of moving right along. This was a car project for a while. I stitch in hand, so it doesn't matter the size. I just lay things across me like this, like a blanket. And then I just sit and stitch. And so it doesn't matter the size. The thing that I love traveling with this one is because there are lots of just straight lines and 3 colors. So for me, that's a great card project. So that one got some attention, which is always fun. Let's see, I have 2 more. Oh, this one's a great one. I had not worked on this one in a really long time. I don't know why I got a wild hair to pull it out. Consider the Lilies. And it's so pretty. And I worked on I'm still in the border, but I filled in several of the flowers across the top of the border. In fact, I don't know that I had any of those flowers in. And then the stems. So that's where she is. The outline of the border is complete and it matched up. Hooray. And now I'm just kind of, whenever I need a little bit of break, if I've been working on the same thing for a long time, I can pull this out and stitch in a flower or two. And that's all I did this time. I just put in like 3 or 4 flowers and tucked it back away. But on these big ones, what's the expression? How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So what if it takes me a long time? I've got it kitted. It's fun. I enjoy it when I pull it out. It's all good. And I love big whips. So does anyone else in the back of their mind think of the song? Is it Baby's Got Back? I like big whips and I cannot lie. I do it every time I pull out a huge whip. Okay, let me see if I can find the cover page here, friend. This is another long dog. This piece I was going to finish in April for, April is a big month in the autism community, and I have an autistic 15-year-old. So I was going to stitch Virtue by Long Dog Sampler because it is so colorful. Maybe I'll include like what it will look like when it's completed. And so I had stitched the companion piece for this between April of 2020 and April of 2021. So I was gonna stitch this one between April 2021 and April 2022. It didn't get done, and that's okay. You know what? It's a neurodiversity piece, and every day at my house is neurodiversity day. So we're just gonna keep on with it. I got a lot of progress, So I am super proud of how far this has come since the last time that you saw it. I have worked a ton. Oh, it's so wrinkly. I have worked a ton in the borders. I have filled in the outer bits of all of the flowers in the entire border at this point. They need see, this is what, here's a perfect example. I have filled in all of the pink on this colorway, and I just need to add the reds. So, and I may have gotten I have gotten all of the yellow and orange flowers finished except for this one. So anyways, it's come a long ways. Then I added at least 1 more line of script to the middle section, and I would say I finished this entire motif, and I believe that it was about this status when I started it. And so for a month of work, I got a lot done. I think that it was optimistic, that I felt as though there was a possibility that I could finish this in a month, particularly because I am not a monogamous stitcher, so the likelihood of that happening was pretty slim to none. But I got a lot of work done on it, and I have already purchased the frame that this one will go in. And so why don't I do back from the framer real quick so that I can show you, since I'm on this piece and it was my last whip, I can show you what it will look like when it's framed. I've ordered 2 of this frame. This is the companion piece to the one that I just showed you. Let's see, recliner, do your reclining. There we go. Okay, so this is Long Dog Sampler Wisdom. The companion piece is Virtue. This one I finished a year ago this month, and I just had it framed. When I purchased the frame for this, I went ahead and asked them to build two that are identical because I'm using the exact same fabric and they can be matching companion pieces. And I believe they call it like fillet or something. And I chose this blue color to just break up the fabric from the frame. This will be hanging on it will be hanging on a dark wall, so you can see how well it stands off against this fireplace over here, how much it will set my piece off that I framed it in white. It will be hanging on a pine wall. And so I went white on white with bright colors, and I am so happy with this. I'm just so happy with it. So anyways, I need to get the other one finished sooner than later because I do have a frame just sitting and waiting for me at Michael's, and I'm sure that they would love to free up that inventory space for a different customer. And I have another piece that's back from the framer. Let me go get that real quick. Here, I'll just carry this out. Okay, so I also got this finished piece back from the framer, and I don't even think I've shown this since I finished it. This is a collection of butterflies, obviously, from Veronique Anjanger. It is out of one of her books that I have shown in other Flosstubes. The book is printed in French, and unfortunately at this point is incredibly difficult to find. But what I decided to do on the frame was to go with a modern aesthetic. This entire room is pretty contemporary. And so I went with a modern frame, and then I actually added a mat that is almost like it almost has like a linen weave to it. It's like a fabric mat instead of a board mat. And I chose the dark black, which is kind of unconventional because I think a lot of times you go with something that's lighter than your frame. But for some reason, I thought I had tried every combo in there, and I just thought that this was so great. So anyways, it is here and it is in this room, and it was hanging right above my head, and that is where this piece will belong. Oh, I love it so much. So there it is. It is Veronique Anjanger, and there are only 2 colors in the entire piece. It does have museum glass, but even with museum glass, there's a little bit of a glare, and I love it. I am so happy with this one. My husband says it's his favorite piece that I've done. Okay, I'm gonna go hang it back up. Okay, and then I also got some haul, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you that. If you've been watching for a while, you know that a lot of my haul comes from estate sales and antique shops and things. So I'm gonna start with something so special. Oh, it's so special. So wonderful. And I found this at an estate sale. So I'm just gonna pull it up. Let's see. Oh, it's showing my entire living room instead of the piece. I might need to, let's see, maybe I can start like this and work my way down. Okay, so it is signed Elizabeth Griffin's 1786. And I found this in the home of a needle worker. She had 3 very old pieces, and this was the absolute oldest. And there is some damage to it. Let me show you. Right here, it has been ripped, but it is authentic, and it is on such fine linen. It is so beautiful. I'm so proud of this piece. So anyways, it is added to my collection, and it is in my sewing room. And I have an area in my sewing room that just by happenstance, my machine is kind of right in front of me. And then I have a standing cross stitching frame. I don't know, I'm at a loss. But anyways, there's a giant cross stitch frame, and then there's a wall right here, and then a set of windows. So I have hung it on the wall to the side so that, number one, every time I sit at my sewing machine, I can see it. But number two, children do not get in that area because it's kind of protected. At some point, I need to do a sewing room tour because I think that someone might enjoy it. My entire sewing room is full of saved stitches. But anyways, this is the newest, and this is absolutely the oldest. So I'm very, very, very excited to add it to my collection. I feel like it is such a big find. And speaking of finds, I found some other stuff, nothing nearly as exciting as that. But I went to, I'm just gonna reach down. I went to another needleworker's estate sale, and in case you're curious, I live in Fort Worth, Texas, which is part of a pretty huge metroplex, and I just go to estate sales, and there are lots of really good ones. We're a heavily populated area, and so I feel like I am so sorry if you live in a smaller community that doesn't have a lot of estate sales, but I feel like that's where I find a lot of my really incredible stuff. It's so fun to know that someone's beautiful work, even if it was done, I have a lot of things that were done like in the 1960s and 70s. Our house was built in the 60s, and so it's our house is kind of funky, like Atomic Ranch retro, and that mid-century modern feeling to it. And so a lot of the things that I buy have like those tangerine and avocado colors that were so hot during the 70s. Oh, I love it. So anyways, yeah, my sewing room is definitely a step back in time. But these were 2 charts that I found. I actually bought a huge book of charts. It was a 3-ring binder, and I would guess the spine on it was like 3 to 4 inches. It was large, and it was completely full of the woman's the charts that she had already cross-stitched. And so I walked up and I asked the person, like, how much are you asking for this full binder? Because it had, I don't know, like 40 or 50 charts in it. And they said, oh, we'll let you have that for $1. And I said, okay. So here are 2 of the pieces that I feel like I'm going to, they're on my immediate radar. I still haven't had a chance to really look through everything really, really well, but this I would like to start stitching sooner than later. It is called Native American Tapestry, and it looks like maybe the name of the designer is Native Son, which I have not heard of before, but I'm just gonna get in a little bit closer on the stitch. It is an old chart. It's been charted by hand, and I've done that before. That does not bother me. I've stitched things that were charted by hand, and I mean it's it's not quite as easy as the new charts, but if you love a chart, it's worth it. And I think that one is so beautiful. This one is so pretty, and I had never seen it before. It reads, "Home is where you hang your needlework." And it's an 84 sampler by Eileen Bennett. And it is chock full of specialty stitches, but no cut work. So I actually think I could pull this one off. There are several, the woman whose estate sale this was super into like Hardinger and cut work and black work. I have a couple big books of black work that I found too. Anyways, there's this. I spent a total of $8 at her estate sale, and it was well worth every penny. And then I bought this a while back, and I don't think that I've ever shown it, but I love it so dearly, so I think I'll show it now. It is the Victoria sampler. These are no longer $1 fines at estate sales. This came from 123 Stitch. This is Heirloom Stitching Sampler, and it's by the Victoria sampler, and it is so beautiful. A lot of people stitch these, but I love this one because of all of the cross stitch. Now I do think there is cut work in this one, so I'll have to get real brave or real creative. But it's beautiful. I don't know when I'll stitch it, but it is one of the items that I'll put in my cart, and I'll come back like a day or two later and it's marked as sold out. And so I was like, you know, I just need to go ahead and buy it so that I have it in my stash when I need it. Okay, let's see. So I made a trip to, oh my stars, let me put this back where it belongs. I will be so confused later. Done. Okay. I went to, we have a needle workshop, but it's for, it is specific for people that needlepoint. It's a needlepoint shop, and it's called the French Knot, and it's near downtown Fort Worth, kind of in the museum district. And I had recently purchased see if it's in this group. Yes, I had recently purchased this chart that Dina from Half Stitch Cross Stitch finished. Hers, this is beautiful. Hers is so beautiful. I mean, it'll knock your socks off. So while I was in this little needlepoint shop, I was looking for Gentle Arts, thinking maybe they had some of the sold out kind of stashed away. Maybe needle pointers didn't love it quite as much as cross stitchers did. They didn't have any. But I went ahead and bought 3 skeins of Whisper thread because I've never used it, and I thought I might try it on this lamb. And so I went ahead and got some Whisper thread while I was in the French Knot, and so that was really fun. And then I got a few other skeins of floss, but nothing particularly of interest. But since this kind of went together, I thought I would show it. And then let's see, from 123 Stitch, I bought Remember Me. And I am going to be stitching this. My friend's father passed away, and I am stitching this for her. It is so pretty. Oh my stars. And I have just a piece of 28 count Artiste Even Weave from Hobby Lobby. And I'm gonna stitch it on this. Just done and done, easy breezy. And I actually feel like the color is very similar to what they call for. And I was able just to grab that at a local store, so that was kind of nice. I also ordered, what is this? Oh yeah. I also ordered this one by Teresa Kogut, which I had not seen before. I'm not sure when this was. Does this have a date on it? Oh, it's new. So that's why I hadn't seen it before. Teresa Kogut's Madonna and Child. It is so gorgeous. Golly, she knocks them out of the park, y'all. Beautiful, beautiful. And I ordered one more thing. Let's see what it is. This is Fairy Wool in the Wood, Don't Forget Me. And it is a cross stitcher. Monochromatic and pretty, kind of subtle. Anyways, she's really pretty. So that's what I ordered from 123 Stitch. And then I made a stop at the Stitch Niche in Arlington. Let's see what they sent. Or what I got from, oh, this was so fun. Did I just get one thing? If it's just one, it's fine. It's a humdinger. Oh, I got this. Everyone is stitching this, or at least showing this. So I got this, and it's cute. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with it or when I'll stitch it. But now it's in my stash, and so that's fun. And it didn't break the bank. It was $6. Okay, y'all. This is so cute. This one's an old, I'm assuming out of print. It was originally, find a date on here, 2006. And it's called the Quilt Sampler 13 Village Game Board Blocks. And it is by Linda Myers. I think it's so pretty. Anyways, I've long admired people's cross stitches that are game boards. I've seen several of you guys have done those, and they're so cool and different and just neat, just different. And when I saw this one there, I snatched it up because it was a great price. It was on the sale rack, and I had never seen it before, and I love things I've never seen before. So anyways, that was the end of my haul. As far as plans go, during May, I'll be I'll be wrapping up the school year. I teach part-time, and I will be wrapping up the school year. My kids will be wrapping up their school year, and the end of the school year always gets really, really busy and really fun. If I don't get as much stitching done during May, that's all right. But I do have something, let me grab it. I do have something, so I guess my point to that is that I'm not sure what I'm gonna stitch on in May. I have a bunch of Mirabilias that I think I've started like 4 Mirabilias maybe 3, not just a ton. So I've kind of contemplated doing the Mirabilia May because the number of Mirabilias that I own and that I have kitted is ridiculous. It's a lot. And so maybe I need to get some of those kind of on the go. So I've considered doing Mirabilia May with Cross by Floss. And that would be a lot of fun doing that. So I'm gonna look through some of my stash. I don't know, I might do a Mirabilia stash dive and show like what I've started, what I've got kitted, and what I have the chart on. I mean, because you can go out and just grab the DMC and get started on any of them and finish fully kitting them later. But for the rest of the month of April, I plan on working on, and this gentleman here gets the most inquiries from you all. Y'all love him. I love him too. Hipster Joe. Joe, you rock. And so far, you're nothing more than a little schnoz. So, Big Joe, Joe the hipster, you know him, you love him. He's coming back. I am going to be working on him for the entire, oh, he's so stinking cute. Gosh, he's cute. Okay, so I'm gonna be working on him for the rest of the month of April. And I was kind of thinking that if I did like Mirabilia during the month of May, that it might be fun to kind of pull him out and put in a strand or two to break up some of my Mirabilias, because he's a lot different than a Mira. So anyways, I'm leaving him out. He is about to get worked on later on today after I run carpool. But that's it. As far as plans go, I am thinking Joe the hipster and some Mirabilias during May. I will continue working on all of your old favorites, Brigid Power, Alita Palpin, all of my big ones that you guys are accustomed to. I will continue pulling them out. I did not pull any of them out during April because I was so heavily focused on Wisdom. And so I have a new goal for Wisdom, which is maybe by April of 2022. Oh wait, that's now. April of 2023, I will have her framed and back home. So anyway, we'll see. I'm gonna keep on plugging away. But I've missed some of my other really big ones. So I'm gonna work on her kind of as I want. And I'm gonna rotate some of my other big ones back into the mix because I have missed them. And this summer I have several items pulled aside to start on. I have some stockings that I want to start this July. And so I'll show those in an upcoming video. And I've got, let's see, I have a Chatelaine that's fully kitted that I've had kitted for a while that I'm considering starting this summer, and that would be a lot of fun. Summers can be really cattywampus, where some days we have absolutely nothing going on and I can stitch for many, many, many hours, and then some days I will spend the day at Six Flags with my children, or we're traveling or something else. And so my summer stitching is kind of all over the place. But I've got a Chatelaine I'm considering. I'm considering Inspiration by Rosewood Manor as a possible summer start. And there are a couple of other large ones that I'm considering, and I think it would be fun. And of course I love the little ones that are like 100 by 100 because those feel like quick wins, don't they? They're so much fun. So anyways, that is all I have for you today. Next time I see you, I'll bring Joe, and I might have a couple of new starts, that gift start for my friend, and I actually have one other gift start that I might get going on. And that's about it, guys. And I hope that y'all had a wonderful April. I'll see y'all soon. I'll see you sometime in May. So if I can get my act together, maybe I can record some plans, or who knows. Stay tuned.